Hello guys, it's Rachel. What's up? Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day out there. And today we are making a cake inspired by the movie To All the Boys I've Loved Before. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I don't even know who you are. I feel like everybody I know has seen it now. My mom's even seen it. Not that that's like surprising because my mom is super cool. But just to say that I feel like everybody has seen the movie, which I think is amazing. One, it's a normal movie, but then also the Asian American representation is a real thing now and it's so cool to see. And since I love the movie so much, I knew I wanted to make a cake inspired by it. So we are making the hat box from the cake. If you haven't seen the film, basically she's got this hat box that she stores her 5 love letters in that are to all the boys that she's loved before. And so I thought it'd be really fun to make that in cake form. In the film, she does write 5 love letters. I think I made more like a dozen today, but this way I was thinking it's more representative of my own love life, in which there are a dozen love letters and 0 boyfriends. But you know what? I have a whole cake to myself. I have 12 cookies and I have a Netflix subscription. So honestly, I think I'm doing pretty good. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this cake. And if you like this video and you are not subscribed already, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off in a large bowl, you'll need 3 cups of cake flour. Cake flour gives your cakes a really nice light texture, so I recommend going for that. We're also gonna add in 2 cups of sugar. So yeah, there's a decent amount of sugar, but it's a cake, so just have a salad for lunch or something. And then add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder, along with a ½ teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. And then just grab a whisk and get that all combined. And now for the kind of unconventional part, we're gonna add the butter straight into the dry ingredients. I know, it's crazy, but the advantage of this is that the butter is gonna coat every single little particle of flour, which gives you a really nice, moist, tender cake and an amazing texture too. This is called reverse creaming, by the way, and I highly recommend this method. So once it looks kind of like Parmesan cheese, we're gonna move on over to the wet ingredients. For this, you need a ½ cup of canola oil, along with 4 room temperature eggs, a cup of buttermilk, and 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Your girl loves her vanilla extract, as you can probably tell. I think 4 teaspoons is the perfect amount, even if it sounds like kind of a lot. I promise you, it's perfect. So just get that all combined. And then with your mixer on a low speed, you're gonna slowly pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. And then I recommend switching over to a spatula just to make sure you don't overmix. But that is looking good. So now we're gonna add in our food color. I just have this really pretty kind of teal turquoise food color, and I'm gonna mix that all in. And then it's time to scoop it into our cake pans. So I have 3 6-inch cake pans here, and I've just sprayed them down with some cooking spray, lined them with parchment paper, and then sprayed them down once more. So I'll just evenly divide the batter between the pans, and then we're gonna bake those off at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. Then once your cakes have cooled in the pan for about 10 minutes, you're gonna flip them out onto a cooling rack. I like to run a knife around the edge of the pan first though, just to make sure nothing sticks. Then it's time to flip them out of the pan, so just go ahead and give it a flip over upside down, peel off the parchment paper, and then lay them down on your cooling rack. Then let those cool off completely, and then it's time for my favorite part. It's time to level off the cakes. The reason I like this step isn't necessarily just because it's fun to use the little leveler, but honestly, I like eating that little top part of the cake. It's really good. The top gets kind of crispy, but it's still really moist in the middle. So this step I always look forward to, honestly. But yeah, just go ahead and level off your cakes. And then since we're gonna fill the center with some cookies, we're gonna take a small dish and then just cut around the outside of that. And that way we have a little hole for our letters. And now it's time to make some love letters. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna take some graham crackers and then cut those in half, and then just cut a little bit off the bottom as well. Just use a serrated knife here. That works out really well. Then you're gonna take some white royal icing and then just pipe on a rectangle. The recipe for this icing is over on the blog post, but it's really easy. So just spread that out and let the icing set for about an hour or so. Then you're gonna pipe on the top flap of the envelope and then add on a heart sprinkle just for a seal. And now for the last detail, we're gonna make a bow out of some modeling chocolate. So I just have some blue modeling chocolate here. Again, recipe for this is over on the blog post, and I'll go ahead and roll it out and then cut it into a rectangle. And then for the details, I'm gonna add a little pleat to the center along with 2 pleats on the sides. And then we're gonna fold the outsides into the center, and you'll see you have a nice little bow. And then just so we have a nice 3D bow, I'm gonna stick some rolled up paper towels inside the little bow loops. Then add 1 more strip of modeling chocolate in the center and let that dry for at least 8 hours, or ideally over overnight. And now it is finally time to put it all together. Very exciting. Okay, so you're gonna take some blue buttercream. Recipe is over on the blog post, and then I'll lay down my first cake layer. Then I'll pipe on another ring of frosting, spread that out, and then lay on our second cake layer. And now it's time for the crumb coat. You've heard me say this a bazillion times, but it's just a nice thin layer of frosting to lock in all of those crumbs. Then you'll want to pop that into the fridge for about 15 minutes, just so it can firm up. And then we'll go for the final layer of frosting. So I'll just pipe some frosting all the way around the outside of the cake, smooth it with my offset spatula, and then go back in with my icing scraper and just scrape off the excess frosting. Clean up the top rim of the cake as well. And now it's time to transfer our cake to the cake stand. This part always makes me kind of hold my breath, but luckily it made it onto the cake stand, no harm done, thank goodness. And now we just want to frost the top layer of our cake. So it's basically the same deal. I'm just doing the crumb coat first, and then I'll go back in for my final layer of frosting. And I'm using an offset spatula, getting that as smooth as possible. And then you'll want to pop that into the fridge for about 20 minutes just to firm up the frosting, because now we're gonna do this cool stripy detail. I haven't done this before on the channel. So all you do is you take some parchment paper or wax paper and just lay that down over the cake. Then just sprinkle over some white sanding sugar and kind of press that into the cake. And then you can peel off the wax paper and you have a really beautiful kind of glittery stripe there. It's such a cool technique because you get those really nice clean lines. So repeat that for the rest of the lid, and then you'll want to place on your modeling chocolate bow, kind of press it down a little bit, and then it's time to finish putting it all together. So I'm going to take my lid off the cake stand and just lean it against the cake. Then it's time to add in the love letters. My version of the movie is a little shorter. Only 4 love letters fit inside the box, but there's 2 on the outside as well. But that's it. That's how you make this cake inspired by To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I hope you liked it. I had so much fun making it. If you haven't seen the movie yet, oh my god, you have to watch it. But now that our cake is finished, let's take a bite and then hop into the outro. Alright guys, our hatbox cake is finished now, and I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did like this video, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. I'm making a lot of hand gestures today apparently, but also my last video is linked right down there. The blog post is right up there, and I think that's about it. Oh, follow me on social media, kawaiisweetEats. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all back here very soon. Bye guys!